Oh, the thing I always use as a distraction when going through a hard time is work. So
Yeah, totally.
I think for a long time I held work in such high regard. Like, all that matters is I love what I'm doing. All that matters is that I'm successful. All that matters is that I have this great career. And so it's always been this default sort of action in my life. I'm beginning to realize more and more that maybe that's not the most important thing, and focusing on that 100% of the time is not really healthy. But then when I'm going through a difficult time and I want to avoid any like emotional pain, I'll just be like, work, work, work. I'm so successful. Look at me, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like a wall to like ignore everything else going on.
Or as a distraction too. I find that I use work as like, if I'm like, getting like bummed out about some personal life stuff, I'm like, okay, as long as my schedule at work's really packed, I won't have time to think about this. I won't have time to worry about that because I'm working, working, working. So I totally use work too. I also use music, which can be a very dangerous thing, because I've found when you're kind of in like a bad place, you want to listen to music that makes you feel that same way. So you listen to music that also puts you like in a bad place, and then you're stuck in this like bad, negative place. I always say this, I know I say it all the time, but if you can just turn on music that makes you like feel happy and good, you can like really change your mood. I always say that, yet I still go back to listening to like Banks and crying on my floor. But music is very, very powerful. Also, you never want to do it when you're in a bad place, but going to yoga, spending an hour and a half at yoga, it's like you go from like here to here. Once you get there, you're good, but it's hard to get there.
That's more of like a remedy maybe than a distraction. I just realized something. These things when we're sitting here are always like this weird like self-therapy thing. So I was also going to say that television is a distraction for me because it takes you out of your own world. And growing up, I was obsessed with TV. I watched a lot of TV. I wanted to work in TV. And I watched a lot of television shows, and I just realized that I was probably just distracting all of my emotional pain as a child by watching television shows, which is insane. I just realized that. I always have these friggin' light bulb moments sitting here. It's like gonna make me cry.